Olórí òkú ọgbọ́dọ̀ kẹ́yìn ogun máa tọ́jà ní kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ́dọ̀ Ahmed. Èkìtì náà alákíyà ẹ̀ ìyàwó ẹ̀kọ́ ìgbẹ́jọ́ Yorùbá ó kábọ̀ sórí Yorùbá ibi dáa ní rẹ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ìlú aládìyọ̀kọ́. Ẹ kábọ̀.
Story the inside. Curator. Where is the copy? You see this? Here is the curator. I'll take you to a shape brief. Very welcome, sir.
We are some of the awards for giving to His Imperial Majesty Ooni of Ife some 10 years ago. This, we just got some of the awards. This award was given by the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, in recognition of dynasties philanthropic aspect of the development of Nigeria. This was given by the United States of America. Yes. Yes. This was given by the United States of America, the Assembly, and this was also given to His Imperial Majesty as a key, and as a community, a citizen to the state of Barakat. So here, what we have here is part of the natural resources we have within the soil of Ife. This is just smoky tourmaline, part of what we use in gold mining and some of the diamond thing. And here, this is just the statue of the longest serving Ooni in the history of the Yoruba people. He served 422 years. 422 years. And that's why his name is called Obalufo, Ogbogbo-dere. Ogbogbo-dere in the Yoruba means somebody who got old and transformed to become iron. So from here, we have another tourmaline. Tourmaline is part of this. Tourmaline, they use tourmaline, part of tourmaline, and it's also being used for hammering in some other parts of the country. So we come here. Here are still part of some of the natural nutrients required. Like what we find in some ground, we find some refined gold and all these things are within the soil of Ife. So what KBSC projects are so that it can be refined. So that some people believe everything about the white is the best. Not the white. It cannot be only white. The black people had gotten these things before the advent of civilization to the white people. Also here, these are part of the natural. This is water tourmaline. Water tourmaline is another natural nutrient that we also have around here in Ife. So these are the things that have made our community and people around this community, particularly Yoruba community, to have all these natural nutrients and it's working for us. Now, when I come here, before now, we've got 3 dynasties. The first, what we have here is the dynasty that existed. The first dynasty is called Ife or Daye Ife, the creation of the world. Ife or Daye, the creation of the world. Those who existed were only supernatural beings and ended. And up to now, we form this one as called Ife or Ilabo for those who survived the first dynasty. Now, for the 3rd dynasty, Ile-Ife sent Oduduwa to come and shuffle the heart because the heart cannot be in vacuum. So while Oduduwa came, Oduduwa became the first Ooni of the 3rd dynasty. And Oduduwa established kingship in the Yoruba kingdom. So from here, we now have the Obas that have been, the Ooni that have been installed. Oduduwa is the first, and the current Ooni is the 51st. So out of all these Ooni, there are some Oonis that have some peculiarities and some fantastic stories that people don't know and people need to know about it. One of such is the one I showed to you about Fogboboding that reigned for 422 years. So Obalufo gave back to Obalufo Alaimore. Obalufo Alaimore, some other children that went around and had to start their own kingdom. But from there, most importantly, Oromiyan is a grandson to Oduduwa, but he lives in the palace. So he had the privilege of seeing what actually happens in the palace, the kind of respect and everything attached within the palace. So he told his father he wanted to be king. But the father said there cannot be 2 kings within the community. So he gave him the privilege to extend his own power. Now, Oromiyan left Ife to form kingship system in Benin City. When he got to Benin City, because the environment is too small for him to enlarge his coast, he left Benin City and went to Oyo. And when he got to Oyo, he became another king in Oyo. After he got to Oyo, he now realized that he got the story that the father, the stool of Ooni is vacant. He now left Oyo and he came back to Ife. So in the history of the Yoruba people, Oromiyan is the first Ooni to conquer 3 or to be Oba in 3 different empires. Benin Empire, Oyo Empire, and Ife. So that's one of the best stories about him. So from here, we leave to come here. I'm only fast forwarding. Luwo, out of all the 51st Ooni, Luwo is the only female Ooni. She's the only female. And why she became the female? When Gesi left, Luwo, very important, very powerful, she's rich and she's powerful. So along the line, they wanted somebody who could now reign over the community. She was picked. And because of the fact that the elegance and money she had, Luwo started what we call hospitality business and started what the people call the red carpet thing. She doesn't work on the bare floor. If she wants to go out, she will send her emissary to put the part on the way for her so that she doesn't work on the bare floor because of her beauty and elegance and because of the fact she's rich. So Luwo gave back to Telu. Telu now formed Iwo in Osun State. So these are peculiarities we go. So now fast forward because of the time. Now coming here to Adeleko Olubushe. Out of all the Ooni that I've mentioned before now, before here, you can only see them once in a year. You can only see them once in a year. And then when you want to see them will be during Olojo Festival. But in 1903, the crisis between the electors and the rebels. The crisis between the electors and the rebels. So these people are now killing themselves. And they wanted someone who could give them facts and stories that would bring about reconciliation and peace. They now extended to come to Ife. They spoke with Adeleko Olubushe. And now said, okay, he consulted Ife. And Ife said, if he wants to leave Ife to Lagos, here the thing will be ready. The whole thing will be settled. They have to make rituals along the line. So they did that. And in 1903, when he left his palace in Ife, all other Obas along there vacated their palaces. A mark of respect for him. Until when he got back to Ife, that was the time all other Obas that left their palaces now went back to their palaces. As a mark of respect. From here, it was Adeleko Olubushe that now gave all other Onis after him the privilege that people can now see them on a daily basis. So from Adeleko Olubushe, I move fast forwarding now. Adeleko to here, Oba Adesoji Aderebi. Out of all these Obas that I've mentioned, Adesoji Aderebi is the most lettered, the most educated. he studied abroad and he had the influence and all of that. But the fact that when he was the king at the same time he had the political power, he was working along with Obafemi Awolowo. So he was part of those who formed most of the development we find in the Western region. He was part of those who formed it. And he formed what we call the Traditional Council of Nigeria in 1957. So he reigned for 50 years, 1930 to 1980. When he left, now came Opadeshigwade in 1980 to 2015. He reigned for 35 years. Now come the present Ooni Adeyeye, and it's Musi Ojaja II. Kabiyesi got installed December 7, 2015. And we are still counting, and by the special way, we'll keep counting and counting and counting. So now, not fast forwarding so that we can have the system. We have bilateral system. The Yoruba people are that bilateral system before now. This, I'm going to start just in short. What we have bilateral system, the House of Senate and the House of Rep. This, what we have here, is the House of Rep, House of Senate, and what we have is the House of Rep. The bilateral system of the Yoruba people. And where I'm standing here represents the Ooni, that is the president. So now, for the bilateral system that we have, so before any decision can be taken, it has to go through these two houses, the House of Senate and the House of Rep. So this, that when Kabiyesi is about to take a decision, doesn't take a decision alone. He has people around him to take the decision with him, that they call them the people of the inner caucus in the Yoruba hemisphere. So this represents Ade-Ari, the second crown. Kabiyesi only wear this once in a year. And Ade-Ari is well 50 kg, the weight of the bag of the cement. So he will wear this on Olojo. And wearing this, so when you come around Olojo, you see people shooting guns to the air. The local hunters shooting guns to the air. Once they shoot the gun, the more they shoot the gun to the air, the lighter this crown will be. That's the system. And there are features. All these features were brought about by God who designed this crown. Nobody designed it. Those are God that designed it and gave it to people. And that's what we find on the at the end of the day. So all these put together. So these are the systems we've had in the Yoruba system. And it's still operating up to now. So thank you for coming. And I think there are other places they want to take you to before we have to come back for you. Sisters, you are interested about it? Let me know. Now, this is the House of Senate.
No, me.
House of Rep. The representatives for the House of Senate that you have here. House of Senate, the people that become kings here, they are from their family homes. So they can, the family, so in their family, they can pick them to become kings and represent the House of Senate. But those who are the heads here can be picked by the Ooni himself. So you now have 8 here, 8, 11, 16. So if there is a decision is about to be taken, they have to go into voting. So now, if Ooni is the one who has picked the 8 here indirectly, he has a vote of this 8. From here, he only needs just only one vote to have 9. That is, and it's a simple majority. You can understand now. So these are the bilateral system that has been existed. So the fact is, for the Ooni has the total control of whoever is coming to court. The family will now, okay, we have picked this person. We want him to come to the House of Senate. So Kabiyesi will give the ratification. Okay, the person we have picked is a person of integrity, is a vision, does he have the same vision with the Ooni for the development and the advancement of Ife? If that, it's free to come. These are the systems.
Olórí ogun ò gbọ́dọ̀ kẹ́yìn ogun. Olórí ogun ò gbọ́dọ̀ kẹ́yìn ogun. Máa wọlé. Abubakar, Audi, ebo là ń wí lọ́wọ́. Ó káàbọ̀ sílé bàbá rẹ̀ olórí aládé ọba. Ó káàbọ̀ sílé bẹ̀rẹ̀. ìlú àwọn akọni ibi tá a ti rọ̀ ńlẹ̀. Ó káàbọ̀ síbẹ̀ ò káyé níbi ojúmọ́lé ń lọ wá akọ́lé ayé nìkí.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
From Nasarawa. I have one or two things to say about you. Baba General Ambassador is one that constitutes, you know, I was there that day. Since then, I've been doing